Hello, my name is Megan Lallier-Barron, and I'm the Curator of Exhibitions here at the Oregon Historical Society. Over the past few months, I've worked with OHS's librarians and archivists to help decide which materials and stories to include in our unfinished past. Research is an essential part of creating an exhibition, and our research library staff helped me navigate the extensive materials in the library's care to focus my storytelling. To talk more about this process, I chatted with Reference Librarian Renato Rodriguez about how we work together on this exhibition.
So a lot of what I do here is help people like you find the resources you're looking for, maybe even suggest certain resources that will help you kind of clarify and tell your vision of what you want to do. So I might lay a whole bunch of stuff on your lap, whether it's maps, architectural drawings, oral histories, but then it's up to you to sift through all of that information and distill it all in a way that helps you tell your story.
I feel like I always come to the research library with all of these tiny little threads of things that I've found, either looking through the institutional archives or talking with staff who have been here for a number of years, trying to sort of piece together this jigsaw puzzle of OHS's history. One example of this is we wanted to have an interactive component within the exhibition that helped visitors better understand how people can do research within the research library. So we knew that we wanted to feature a building in some way. We were trying to be mindful of how historic research works in reality and trying to figure out a way that was to have an experience that was satisfying for the visitor, but also realistic in terms of what research you could realistically find.
It's a great example on what a lot of people come to our library for, which is historic home research or historic building research. You came to us with this idea of the interactive of how not only a building or an area of town could change, but the research process and learning how that change happens. I suggested the building in Multnomah Village, which has been there for a long time. It used to be a train station stop, and now it then became a grocery store and a post office, and now it's still there, and it's currently a restaurant. We looked through city directories. We looked through city maps, like Sanborn maps and real estate maps. We went through Ancestry.com, our portal, our institutional portal here. And the research that we did and the resources that we tapped on for this particular building kind of let us see the life of this building and how this particular building has changed.
Yeah, I think one of the main takeaways that we want visitors to come away with when they see the exhibition is how the Oregon Historical Society serves as this sort of collective memory in some way for the history of the state. So in talking about all of those different ways that researchers come in and learn about Oregon's history, I think we want to translate that into the final exhibition. So both having examples of how people have taken the material in our collection and done something else with it, but then also looking at how the collection has really changed over time.
And we get to manage those materials too, because as our organization has grown, we've been and able to tell more stories, because Oregon's history is just as diverse as the people who live here, and telling those stories and being a repository for those stories, I think is really important to tell the story of Oregon, whether it's an easy story to tell or not.